So let's have another conversation. First to two versus first to three. Does it matter which side are you on? That sort of thing. Let's dive into it. So first things first, if you were not aware, ECT was this past weekend. And while this happened, we had a lot of upsets happen, probably the most upsets we've ever seen in quite some time. And when upsets happen, a lot of conversation happens in the Twitter space, as well as just in chats, in different streams, and all that sort of thing. So in today's video, we're going to be going over that sort of thing. When all of this occurred, there are some people, some notable players that were going off about how these upsets only happened because it's a first to two system. If it was a first to three system, then this was very unlikely to happen, because in a first to three system, you're more likely to get the better player to win. Now, to those who come across with that opinion, I would, raise you one and ask, is this game purely about the best player winning? And most people will go towards the answer of yes, a duh, of course. But then there's also a certain level of luck factor that comes into these games, and although we want to mitigate it as much as we can, it is an aspect of the game. And sometimes luck doesn't come in the form of just guessing right. Sometimes it comes in the form of the top player not playing at their best on that day, or vice versa, where the opposing player is on their A game today. So another thing to consider is the fact that whether it's first to two or first to three, it may or may not even change the outcome. So Muscle Noob, a pretty prominent figure in the Street Fighter community, put out a post, I'm going to put it up on screen, where he went over the top 8 matches, and whether it was a first to two or first to three, whether it would change the outcome of the match in general. So first things first, we start off with Big Bird versus Dual Kevin. Dual Kevin was up 2-0, then 1-3-0. So in that case, if it was a first to two, Dual Kevin would have won, right? If it's first to three, Dual Kevin would have won. So if it played either way, it would be the same result. Itabashi versus Boost. Itabashi was up 2, and then won a 3-2 at the end. Now, I wanted to help you understand this information, okay? So the first set of information is showing what would happen if it was a first to two system. So if it's a first to two system, Itabashi still would have won. And now that it was a first to three, granted Boost came close, winning another 2 matches, it still did not matter, because Itabashi still won the set. Moving on to the losers top 8, Idom versus Daigo. When Idom was up 2-0, that would be a wash when it comes to pools, And now that Daigo was able to win an extra 2 matches, we went to final game there, and Idom closes it out with a 3-2. So once again, it doesn't matter. Just showing the fact that if it's a first to two or first to three, it's very ironic the fact that nothing necessarily changed. Regardless of first to two, first to three system. Now, I know the counter argument would be towards these are all top players and they're all around the same skill level. So whether it's first to two or first to three, the same skill level is being displayed, and someone has to win and someone has to lose. And that's granted, honestly, that's very fair. But with that being said, it just brings to question if a player like Marine upsets Problem X. Is that just, bad luck? You made too many bad choices, and those bad choices resulted in your opponent winning. If you want to blame Street Fighter 6 for being too volatile, that's your own thing. At a certain point, you gotta put it on your own chest and realize that sometimes you just weren't playing well. Sometimes you didn't adapt to the thing you were supposed to adapt to. And then before you say that, oh, it's just the game being the game, you gotta realize that sometimes playing into the game, or knowing what to do when someone's playing into the game hard body, you're gonna have to make the hard decisions. Sure, you can say the game sucks. It's just easier that way, right? But at the end of the day, especially if you're not like, if you're playing ranked and you're below 2k MR, or not even in Masters, you definitely have to look inward. While Marine is a good player, do I think Marine, between Problem X and Marine, is Marine the better player? And 9 times out of 10, no, right? But the thing is that, like, just because it's a 9 times out of 10 situation, this was the 1 out of 10. And, this is the scenario where the 1 out of 10 comes, right? It's not impossible for these players to get beaten. And this is something that people need to start realizing, especially while they're watching these matches and going online and spreading all this information. We'll call it information. With that being said, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think that this system is fair? Do you think that it's first to 2? Do you think it's first to 3? In my opinion, I don't mind the current first to 2, first to 3 system. For those who think that first to 3 for some reason won't take longer, I'm not exactly sure in what planet you live on, to be honest, because statistically it's just more, right? Because if you play an extra match, then you automatically have to play an extra 4 minutes, and that's an extra 3 to 4 minutes per match, right? And especially if it's close, that's going to happen. And this is all the things that you're going to have to deal with. And it's a little bit disingenuous to say that, it's not a thing. And some people will just rather go online and complain and whatever have you. And there was one gentleman who said, "Thank God I don't play this game anymore because it's just so random and volatile." Even though I'm looking at your brother, just say that you couldn't hang, First to 2 is difficult. I've played in first to 2 systems. You can get caught out. And that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is across many different games. You can get caught out by accident. So don't think of it as something where you're just like, oh, only the worst player wins or anybody can win. Think of it more so as it's giving an opportunity for those who are vastly below, a little bit more of a luck factor. And luck is going to go their way. They have a 1 out of 10 chance of winning. But 9 times out of 10, we see the same results. We see the same things. And we're not really shocked by this. And we don't really have very much conversation about the fact that, a lot of the time we see the same faces. We see the same people up in top 8 a lot of the time. So seeing the upsets that we saw, it's not really all that crazy. Anyways, with that being said, comment down below what you think. Have a good one, guys. Peace.